Hello and welcome to episode 167 of the Daily Sales Message, where every single day I share a piece of simple and actionable advice that's designed to help you feel more confident and sell more stuff. If you're new around here, my name is James Newell. I teach people how to sell for a living. And for me, it comes in two very distinct components. The first component is having a clear sales message. People have to understand what you're trying to sell to them. You have to be able to articulate and explain what you actually offer, what you're selling, which sounds really flippant, but it's a huge problem for lots of people. And certainly if you're listening to me and you've had that issue, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Once you've got a clear sales message, you need what I call selling confidence, the ability to be relaxed, comfortable, and confident in a selling situation. In this episode of the Daily Sales Message, we are talking about jargon, when jargon works. Now, predominantly, I'm all about the clear sales message. I'm all about saying things so people understand using the simplest language possible. One of my mantras is that syllables are expensive. So the fewer syllables, the fewer the words, the quicker I can explain something to you, the better. And jargon doesn't really have a place in that. But it does, in one scenario. The only time you can use jargon, with my blessing at least, is when you explain it. That's it. So if you do use jargon deliberately, or if you find yourself straying into using jargon, just remember to explain it. Because we can't assume people actually know what it means, even if they should know what it means because of their position, their job title, etc. So if I was to accidentally use a word like schemas, for example, I then have to go on to explain, well, schemas are essentially how we communicate. It's about taking on a piece of information and stitching them together in your mind to form a picture. That's what a schema is. Now, if I use that jargon and don't explain it, you might not understand it and get it, and then we're going to disconnect at that point in the conversation. You might Google it later if you're strange like me, but you probably won't. If I use it and explain it, if you did already know it, you're not really going to be insulted that I explained it to you, because you say, oh, yeah, James, I know what that is, that's fine. But if you didn't know, first of all, that's the one thing you learned today, what a schema is. And secondly, you're connected with me in the conversation, you understand, and I can then further explain how I can help you and what we can actually do. So the moral of the story today, children, is when you use jargon, if you use jargon, and please use it sparingly, make sure you explain it. Because when you do take the time to explain it, you can not only connect with people in conversation, but you can also demonstrate your expertise, your knowledge, and your experience, because you know fancy, cool words that other people don't know. And that's really encouraging. If I'm going to pay you to solve a problem for me, if I get the sense that you know more about the thing than I do, that's exactly where I want to be. So use jargon very carefully. And for me, always explain it. Always explain it. The mantra in my business, one of many, but one of the most important ones, is if they don't understand it, they can't buy it. Not they won't, they can't buy it. And jargon will lead you down that path where people simply don't understand what you're going on about. That's it for this episode of the Daily Sales Message. Let me just look at my notes. Aha, tomorrow. Little favorite of mine, 3 simple letters, ESP. And we're not talking about like ghosts and sensory perception and all that kind of stuff. It's something else. Tune in tomorrow to find exactly what ESP is, how you can use it, and also the red herring that comes with it. ESP is my solution to a problem that is caused by a similar acronym. I don't think I could be more vague and intriguing than that. Hopefully that's hooked you in. You'll tune in tomorrow. Who knows? In the meantime, have you taken the Selling Confidence Score yet? Do you know what your Selling Confidence Score is? If you haven't, hop on over to sellingconfidencescore.com, sellingconfidencescore.com. There is a 20 yes-no question, 2-minute quiz across 4 main areas of selling. It'll tell you how well you're doing in each of those areas, where you may have room for improvement, and more importantly, it'll give you a little action plan, how to improve in those areas. If you're not so good with objection handling and closing, it'll tell you a couple of cool things to try to help you improve. Completely free, without obligation, because I'm nice like that. So head on over to sellingconfidencescore.com to check that out. Otherwise, I will see you tomorrow for another exciting, slightly rambly edition of the Daily Sales Message. Thanks for listening.